Hey Woodbridge, this is Pastor Frank. Hope that you're having a great week this week. Hope that you're having a wonderful summer. So we at Woodbridge Community Church, we have started a brand new study in the book of 1 Thessalonians. The title of our new series is called Living with a Higher Perspective. How important is perspective in how you see life and how you live life? Perspective's everything, isn't it? You know, the Apostle Paul, he met Jesus, his perspective changed. What the Apostle Paul did about 50 AD is he went to a city in Greece called Thessalonica. You can actually read how he brought Jesus to this city in Acts chapter 16. It says that for 3 weeks he brought them a 3-point message. How the Messiah in the Old Testament, there's actually prophecies about the Messiah that has to suffer and die and rise from the dead, and this Messiah takes away the sins of people, Isaiah 53, Psalm 22, and so forth. One week he talks strictly on these texts. The next week he introduced Jesus to him. And then it says on the third Sabbath, he explained that these two are the same person and they need Christ. It says in the scriptures that there were some that believed, and the church was born. And the church was born in great persecution. There was people externally that gave the church a hard time. They ran Paul out of town. And yet Paul writes a letter back to them, and that's what we're studying, 1 Thessalonians. We talked about it last Sunday. A great letter. It's a really refreshing letter. When Paul writes it, he seems to be joyful and happy. In the first chapter, he just praises the church for growing in their faith in the midst of strong opposition. He acknowledges and thanks God for God's Spirit working in the church, which is pretty cool. Interesting, when you read 1 Thessalonians, it says that he honors them because their reputation is just exploding. Paul didn't have to tell people about the church in Thessalonica. Wherever he went, people were telling him about the church. Their reputation was just growing. It's really beautiful. Acts chapter 16, great stuff. Next week, we're going to be talking about the second and the third chapters. You can read that ahead of time. Notice in the second and third chapters of 1 Thessalonians how Paul begins defending himself, defending his motives. He even says, I didn't come to trick you. I didn't come for financial gain or any of this. Very interesting how Paul felt he needed to defend his motives. We'll be talking about this next Sunday. There's a few things happening at the church. Number one, please be praying for our youth. They've just left to go to camp, so please be praying that our junior hires and high schoolers will meet Jesus at camp this week, that they'll begin to know him a bit more, and they'll follow him more from conviction in their hearts. So please pray for the youth and the leaders. A few things also are happening at the church. Every Wednesday night we're having pickleball here from 6 to 8 o'clock out in the courtyard, and basketball. So if you want to come and just have fellowship at the church, come on and be a part of that. We're doing a Sunday Funday, by the way, on July the 30th, Sunday after church. We'll be inside in the building B. We're going to be playing games as a church, so please put that on your calendar. The first 2 Sundays of August, we're going to be doing a Sunday school class on the topic of heaven. Steve Claflin's going to be teaching this class, the idea of heaven, what does the scripture say about heaven, and just what is heaven going to look like. It's going to be happening on first 2 Sundays, that's the 6th and the 13th of August. Also, FYI, we're going to be doing a movie night in August. We want to show the Jesus Revolution, which will also be August the 6th at night. So lots of stuff going on here at the church. We've got opportunities for people to let's get together and have some fun. So let me close this by saying this. My wife and I just went and saw the movie that's in the theaters right now called The Sound of Freedom. Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in The Passion, has a movie out, and it's about human trafficking, especially of young children. It's a very difficult, powerful movie based on a true story. I want to encourage you as a church to go see this movie, to go support this movie, to be educated of what's happening in our society. This isn't the kind of movie you eat popcorn at, by the way. It's pretty serious. Tell people about it. It needs to be shown. There's some really disgusting things happening in our society, and we as children of God need to be aware of it. So please go see that movie. I encourage you to go see it, and look forward to seeing you on Sunday. So God bless you, Woodbridge. Take care. Bye-bye.